What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be discussing the Sunday slate for the DK Call of Duty League DraftKings contests. I'm going to be going over the salaries. We had some nice matchups this past Saturday, which was yesterday actually. I actually placed first in some of my contests, and I wanted to share my outcomes with you just so you can see kind of how I build my lineups and make some money off of it. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe or like. I go over betting advice and betting strategies here in this channel for Call of Duty esports as well as Halo. So if you're into those, check it out. So this was my lineup for last night's matches. It was 4 matches yesterday, Saturday, February the 19th. I built some of these after I checked out, the prices and everything, and I was, building my strategy. And I felt like this was a well-balanced team for tomorrow. For 4 games, you really gotta target the players you really believe are gonna do well because, obviously there's a lot of more players to choose from. There's more variance. Just a quick recap of what happened yesterday. Florida surprisingly 3-0'd the Seattle Surge, which was, stunning to everybody. I personally thought that it was going to be a 3-2 Seattle victory. I thought Florida was going to fight back pretty good because I think they're a solid team, but I didn't think they were going to 3-0 them. So that was, I think, surprising to everybody. And that helped me out in this lineup specifically because I only had one Seattle player, and it was accuracy, the cheapest one. And I did on purpose because, I didn't think Sib or Pratt were going to, hit that ceiling that they always do. So I picked accuracy at the cheapest at 7,400 at 82. The next matchup was New York against Boston, which I did think New York was going to win. I mean, they're due up a win. I mean, eventually they have to beat somebody in the bottom 5 of the leaderboards. I believe Boston, they I don't know what placing they're in, but I know that if they can be any team, it might as well be Boston, and I was right. 3-2 win. So for New York, I targeted Hydra because he was at 13-8 for the captain position, and I knew that this was the match they had to win. So I knew Hydra was going to go rogue and he was going to do his thing, and he paid dividends because he gave me 215 fantasy points at the captain position, which was killer. Really the dagger that really helped me win this contest. And then on the Minnesota side, I got Standy at 10K. Standy at 10K was pretty good pick. He went off. I think he got 113 kills and 110 deaths, as you can see here. And I think he got 149 control time. He really and only 6.1% was owned from him in this contest specifically that I was in. The next matchup was Minnesota LAG. On the Gorilla side, I didn't really target anybody because I didn't like the prices, and I really thought Minnesota was going to win too. But for the Toronto LA Thieves matchup, I did target Kleenex because at 8,400, I feel like he could deliver, and he did. He got more than 100 fantasy points, which is ideally what you want to look for out of a player. 92 kills, 97 deaths. And then I had a Rocker as my team, which really helped me because they got a lot of stats. I think they got 9 BPD, whatever the fuck that means. 1 wins in a match, 3 wins of games, 3 game wins, and 14 WRs, which I think that has something to do with search. I'm not sure, but I know that in search they came back nasty. I think it was game 4 or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what match it was, but they had a really intense game. It was the hard point match, which was game 4, that they came back hard on Berlin. A crazy match to see. I was watching that live, and I'm happy I did. So this was my lineup. I got first place in this contest. I got 705 points, and I'll be showing you guys how I build my lineups like this, so I feel confident about them. Putting money down on. So for the first game, we have Seattle Surge versus the London Royal Ravens, which I believe last time they played, they lost, or Seattle won 3-0, as you can see here in the Kickoff Classic. They beat them fair and square in the first matchup. I believe this is going to be their second matchup. I do believe Seattle is going to edge this one out, but anything can happen. Both of these teams are pretty good. Gizmo, Nasty, Zero, and Afro are in the London side. Gizmo is at 8,200. Nasty's at 7,800. Zero's at 6,800, and Afro's at 6,400. I believe Afro is, a good pick here in this situation because he's at a really good value. And on a team that can take the upset and beat Seattle Surge again. Seattle's coming off of a loss, so I think they have that fire under them to go out and beat the London Royal Ravens. But anything can happen. Both of these teams are toe to toe. These are two teams that we thought were gonna be at the bottom of the barrel and ended up being really good at the beginning of the season. So who knows what's gonna happen. Afro last series got 105 fantasy points. He got 80 kills, 68 deaths. Pretty good. 83 capture time or control time. Afro's a really solid player who's shown that he has the ability to slay and he has the ability to carry this team to victory. So I do put faith in him, and I think that at 6,400, he's going to be my favorite pick here out of all these guys. Zero and Nasty are good too. And Gizmo, I believe, is my second favorite here at 8-2. He also got 125 or 129 fantasy points in his previous game. He got 90 kills, 69 deaths. He as well as Afro, I feel, are the workforce to this team and are the ones who usually carry the slaying workload and help this team win when they need to. So for Seattle, we have Sib, Pred, Mac, and Accuracy. We have Sib at 10K. We have Pred at 9.4. We have Mac at 8, and we have Accuracy at 7. I do believe Seattle's going to win this matchup. I do feel like Accuracy is in a good position at 7K. If they win in a 3-0 fashion like they did again in the Kickoff Classic, which I don't think is going to happen, but if they do, Accuracy is in a good position to get all those points and be an insane valuable play for this slate. I feel that Sib as well at 10K is priced, somewhat adequately. He threw a dud last match. He got 62 fantasy points in that 3-0. Crazy to see 47 kills, 69 deaths. So I'm pretty sure he's really angry about that, and knowing the kind of player he is, I think I'm pretty sure that they're gonna come out today and throw some wood in the fire. So I believe that Sib and Accuracy are a really good position here. Mac as well. Can't go wrong with any of these players, but I would say in my order from least favorite or most favorite to least favorite, I would say number 1 would be Sib, and then Mac, and then Accuracy, and then Pred. Just because Pred has been not so he's been consistent, but not too much in the point where I'd be confident at 9.4. There's other players out there that I'd love more than him right now in that position. So, that's where we stand on that side. The Seattle Surge team is at 3,600, whereas the London is at 2,600. So $1,000 difference, which I think is a little bit too much. This is kind of like a toss up. But I feel, for the captain spot, Sib is expensive, 15K, Pred 14, Gizmo 12, Mac 12, Nasty 11, Accuracy 10, 0, Afro. I believe Afro's in a really good position here. If London Royal Ravens win, Afro's going to most likely be in the winning lineup. So I would say my favorite picks from these or this matchup, it's probably Afro on the London side, and I would say that on the Seattle side, I would go for Accuracy or Sib. So for the next matchup, we have Optic Texas against Boston Breach. Boston Breach just came off of a loss against the New York Subliners. New York Subliners, I think it was their first win of the season. So, New York Subliners feeling really good. Boston feeling kind of bad. They underperformed this series, but they're looking to get back on track against Texas, which I don't think is going to happen. But, nevertheless, we have Capsidle, we have Nero, we have Methods, we have Halley. We have Capsidle at 8.4, Nero at 7.6, Methods at 6.6, and TJ Halley at 6,200. I feel that Capsidle is a really good player, 109 fantasy points last match in, loss. 91 kills, 90 deaths. I feel like he tried really hard. Didn't get the dub, but he's still a good player at 8,400. I would consider him maybe. I know that Methods at 6.6 is something I would consider more against Optic just because he's a lower price. Not as high as an upside, but I don't think Boston is going to win. So personally, me, I'd go Methods. I feel like Methods is my favorite player here, whether it be captive position or not. I feel Methods, for me, is one of the better picks here. For the team position, Breach is at 2,400. I believe that Optic is at 3,800. So I feel like Optic is going to win, and that's what reflects a 1,400 difference in the fantasy price. And the Optic line is at minus 240, while Boston is at a plus 180, I believe. The lines really reflect who people think is going to win and who I think is going to win. I think Optic is going to take this, so I'm more inclined to pick people on the Optic side. Italy at 7,400 stands out to me because if this match goes to a win, like a 3-2 win or a 3-0 win, Italy being one of the cheapest at 7,400 is looking to get a lot of points here and increasing his upside here in the lineups. I feel like Shotzi is cracked at this game at 9,600. I feel like Shotzi is a pretty good bet. He got 143 fantasy points in his previous outing, 74 kills, 56 deaths. That was the 3-0 against Toronto. So 40 points there for a 3-0. He would have been at 100. Just himself and his kills. Other than that, last 10 series, he's been averaging 127 fantasy points. He's a really good player. I feel like in Vanguard, he is a really good player. So I feel like Shotzi is in a good position here. Shotzi, Elite Methods stand out to me here, and I would say Optic Texas as the team position is what I really like here for this matchup. So I do think it's going to be a 3-2 victory from Optic Texas. That's what I think about this matchup right here. So we can see that the odds for our next matchup, we have the New York Subliners and the Atlanta FaZe. They are going to be matching up, and I believe that as of me recording this, the line on Atlanta FaZe is minus 750 favorites. I think New York is at a plus 450. I do not think New York Subliners are going to win this matchup. They just introduced a new substitute player for Neptune, which was Royalty. In this matchup, they introduced a new sub in Royalty for taking out Neptune. They did win against Boston, but I don't think this is going to carry over to FaZe. Atlanta FaZe is way much of a stronger team, way more prepared team than Boston Breach. So I do feel like this is going to be maybe a 3-0 or a 3-1 by FaZe. I really hope, New York Subliners maybe can get the upset, but I don't think it's going to happen. Who stands out the page for me on the New York side would probably be Hydra at 7,600. You can see the prices are all the way low. Hydra at 7,600, I just feel is incredible value. Crim 6 at 7,200, pretty good too. Hydra has been having crazy games. 144 fantasy points in his last outing. Yesterday he helped me win my lineup at 9,288. 8,800 against LA Thieves, against the Gorillas. He was at 8. Seattle, he was at 8. Hydra is honestly the best pick of the entire slate, in my opinion. Even if they lose, maybe he puts up a solid outing. Feel that Subliners at 2,000. Obviously, for the team position, I don't think they're gonna win. I don't know if I would put any of these guys in my captain position. I'm not sure yet, but I do feel like Hydra is a great value for the New York side. For the Atlanta side, I do feel like any of these players can go off, especially if it's a 3-0 matchup. All of them are going to be in play. Arcides being the cheapest one at 8,600 for the flex. Sealim at 9,000, Simp at 9,800. Even though Arcides isn't much of a slayer, I feel like he might be in a good position if it is a 3-0 because he's going to get an extra 40 points being the cheapest player in the FaZe. Going to benefit off of that. BZ at 10,200. I feel like he's pretty good too. Although he is kind of expensive, he has shown that he's been super consistent. As you can see here, 118 against LA Thieves, 153 against Boston, 106 against Minnesota. You're talking about a team on a different level here, and that's why I do believe that they are going to smoke the Subliners. I feel like any player here in this position is probably good. I would say that Arcides is the key player or the value play here at 8,600, being the cheapest player on one of the best teams. Feels the biggest upside here. I do think it's going to be a 3-0 by Atlanta FaZe. I might be wrong, but those are my thoughts on this specific matchup, and these are all my thoughts on these specific matchups. If you like the content, if you like the overview of the matches and the salary breakdowns, keep following me. I'm going to do this for the rest of the Call of Duty season, and as well for Halo fantasy advice or just season talk. Feel free to stay tuned.